couple months ago, we captured ghostly and haunting music in one of America's most haunted hospitals.
And now we know more about it, so let's get into it.
And we heard the most god-awful scream, sickening.
And see a shadow, we'd go after it. There would be nothing in there.
The hospital talks.
Come in.
Holy dude, right when you just went in.
Did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
That's what I was hearing.
As soon as we crossed the threshold, that's why I was like, whew.
Let's talk about the Harriman Hospital. Located in Harriman, Tennessee, we investigated this ginormous, nearly 200,000 square foot hospital with a group called the Spirit Stalkers. And for those of you that don't know, one thing that we love to do on our investigations is an abandonment session. We've been doing it for over a decade. We'll leave cameras set up in the building when it's completely empty to see what they pick up on, to see what they capture. Now in this instance, the hospital's so big and there's two separate buildings, the old half and the new half. So we left cameras set up in the old half of the building while we went and investigated and filmed for the Spirit Stalkers video. And we left those cameras set up for nearly 2 hours, not knowing what would happen. Dave, you reviewed that footage.
I did, yeah. I spent several hours combing through the footage from that investigation, and there was some interesting stuff on there.
And for those of you that have not seen the episode, we really highly recommend that you watch that full documentary. The link is in the description below because it'll give you a much better idea of how that night went and truly how shocking this capture was. But our jaws almost hit the floor whenever we discovered what was in that footage on the second floor of the old building, down in an area of the hospital designated as the geriatric mental health ward, an area for patients who had been diagnosed with dementia or Alzheimer's, ones that were having a lot of trouble functioning on a day-to-day basis were kept there. But it is just down the hallway from the prenatal and childbirth section of the hospital, and we were told by Rhonda, our tour guide, that there was a lot of activity with the spirits of children there.
Where Chris is standing, there was a picture of a little child. You could see knickers. That's all you can see is the legs down. This child's got knickers on. Standing right there in the doorway is a little girl with a hospital gown on.
And very shockingly, when we played back the footage, this is what we heard. Now, we can't play the whole thing in its entirety for you because it lasted nearly 9 minutes of this music turning on and off and stopping, and there was even a child's voice that showed up in that.
Yes, there was a child's voice on there, and that was, to say the least, beyond creepy to hear.
I can say in all the years that we've been investigating the paranormal, I think we've only caught something that shocking twice. And that audio will probably go down in history as one of the craziest things that we have captured on a paranormal investigation.
I would imagine so. If not, I can't wait for the moment that tops that. So,
But the thing is, we set out on a mission from the time we discovered that audio, that music, that very creepy paranormal evidence. We set out on a mission to try and figure out what could have caused it. Because of course, as paranormal investigators, we have to try and debunk that footage. We have to try and prove that it is something naturally explainable. So immediately, I started messaging the hospital. I started messaging Heath, one of our other tour guides, and corresponding with him and Rhonda, trying to figure out if A, they had ever heard anything like this in the hospital, or B, if there was some explanation that they could come up with or think of as to what caused this music to occur.
Right. And also, we reached out to the spirit stalkers and asked if they happened to capture anything even remotely similar to that while they were there, and they hadn't.
And I think the craziest thing about it was not only did the spirit stalkers, not capture anything like it, but the employees, the tour guides, and the owner of the hospital had never heard anything like that or had anyone capture anything like that inside the Harriman Hospital. So we then sent Rhonda, who is their lead guide, around the hospital, trying to find toys that play music, because they do have trigger objects, toys for the children to play with and touch and things that they can interact with. And we thought, if there is a toy in that hospital that will play music and it is even remotely close to that camera, that would be an incredible capture of paranormal activity, of a child spirit interacting with a toy. Then came the more mysterious part. Rhonda said the only toy that plays similar sounding music that is inside the Harriman Hospital is in the old building, and she sent me a clip of that toy, which you saw in the full-length episode, but here it is again. The only problem was that toy was on the first floor, really far away from that camera that picked up on that sound, and the camera that was closest to that toy, down in that first floor hallway, picked up absolutely nothing. And you can see for sure that that toy is there during our investigation, because when we watch our session with Jason and I in that first floor hallway, you can see that toy right here. So it's obvious it wasn't that toy.
Pretty obvious that it wasn't that one, yeah.
So then we started to comb through the footage of the entire investigation of that old building, looking for a toy that would show up on screen that looks like it could play sound. And as you saw if you watched the full documentary, we found a toy that was right around the corner from where the camera was. I did reach out to Rhonda again and asked her to go back to that hallway and send a video of that toy and what sounds it makes. Now, we didn't get that clip in time to put in the documentary, in the episode. It had to be released on Saturday of that week. But we did get that clip, and here are the sounds that that toy makes.
Blue, green, splash, little duck, jump, little frog.
2, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then there's 9. Counting's really great with numbers. When you learn numbers, then you can count and count again.
B, C, F, E, D, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me? Shoo-doo-doo-doo-down. Green, yellow, red, green, blue. Play, little cat.
Hello. 1, 2, 3, 6.
So from the sounds that it was making, you can tell it's more like a learning toy.
Yeah, definitely not even close to what we had captured.
Yeah, it teaches kids to count, it teaches them letters. So we have no idea what it actually was that created that music. In that documentary, we said, we think it is this, but we don't know for sure because we haven't got the information yet. Well, the information came in, and we still don't know what that was.
Not a clue.
I had a lot of correspondence with the owner of the Harriman Hospital, Ronnie D, and he sent messages basically saying that he thought that what we captured was not tied to any sort of toy or any sort of device that plays music inside the hospital. In his opinion, he said that he believed that it could have been actual disembodied music, which would be absolutely crazy.
Yeah, that would be just wild.
He actually gave us some information about the hospital, and that was before the hospital was ever built, there used to be a hotel that sat right there on that property where the old building sits. And he said in his opinion that maybe the disembodied music had come from whatever was going on in that ballroom during the time that that hotel was in operation. Now, the hotel, I believe, actually burned down before the hospital was built, which was a tragedy that left a lot of people in Harriman devastated, and they believe could still produce paranormal activity in the hospital to this day. I don't know. I mean, what do you think, Dave?
I think that the only explanation is something paranormal. I mean, that really only leaves one choice for. I mean, there is no explanation for it.
And it really does. It brings back the passion of paranormal investigation. When you capture something that is truly unexplainable, whenever you capture something that for weeks you ponder on and think about, searching for some sort of realization or some sort of epiphany as to what caused it, but yet nothing comes, it really leaves you with more questions than answers.
Oh yeah, and if the staff and the owner of the building are also left speechless by it and confused without an answer, that says something as well.
It really is exciting, but true paranormal evidence will always leave you with more questions than answers, and I think this is the case here.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because we don't know. We have not even the slightest possible clue in our brain what caused that music that we captured in the old building at the old Harriman Hospital. But if you have any ideas down below, we're very open to suggestions, ideas, so put them down in the comments and let us know what you think.
Yeah, leave us a comment with your theory or your explanation of what it could be, because we truly would love to know, because we can't seem to find an explanation for it.
We wanted you to be able to hear from the moment that music started up until it stopped, the full 8 to 9 minute clip. So stay tuned, listen to that clip in its entirety, and hear for yourself just how strange it is. It'll be uninterrupted as we found it on the camera. And again, if you have any thoughts, if you have any ideas, if you have any suggestions as to what you think it could be, put it down in the comments.
All right, guys, thank you so much for watching until the end of this video. If you'd like for us to go back to the Harriman Hospital and maybe try and figure out what this was that happened and see if we could try and get it to produce the same type of music or anything like that, leave us a comment, hit the like button, and let us know that you would like for us to do that. And also head over to paranormalquestmerch.com and grab you a piece of merch. We just released a whole new line of things over there that we would love for you to go and check out. And maybe buy some and help support the show. It keeps us on the road.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this update. We'll be back with a brand new full-length episode, brand new full-length documentary next week. And this house that we investigated gets creepy.
Whoa. Oh yeah.
See you next time, guys.
See you then.
Bye.